Is day 1075 of Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you'd like to sponsor Arukh HaShulchan or the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please come me directly. Very greatly appreciated. Today we are doing Siman Tzadik Hey, Sifim Aleph through Ches. And this is Din Not by Not, the laws of Not by Not, which we will define in Aleph. The Ktasi, the Charif and some halachas of sharp stuff, Nozatam Gum, and stuff which gives off tastes. A fish which came into a plate, allowed to eat them with a milchik dish. Some sort of yogurt type dish. Should have a nice in time by nice in time because it is something which gives taste, the son of something which gives taste. Or as we commonly say, not bar not. Bear advarim. It means what this means is dogim suyim roskim. You have fish which are roasted and hot. And you put them into a plate into which you ate meat. You're allowed to eat the fish with kutak, which is milchik. We don't say the fish have the taste of meat, which they absorb from the plate. The fish ain't the time gummer because it's not true taste. Suddenly the fish was cooked together with meat. Also, wouldn't be able to eat them with fish milk. And vice versa, to eat hot milk because basar in a flesh plate. Should have a time rishon because it's the first taste. It's an absolute. It's as if it's absolute meat. Vice versa. But this plate is not meat. The meat gave it a taste. And the plate gave a taste in the fish. Two tastes of heter. In other words, the original taste is twice removed from the object in which it was giving taste. And therefore the taste is weakened. Therefore you're allowed to eat them with the kutak. Doesn't matter if the fish and the plate were both hot. One was hot and one was cold. Both are cold. Sakana, now which you have an issue with sakana of fish and meat together, a separate issue is barbasim kufta azayim siyat shema. I'll explain much later. Base. This is so din not by not. This is the base of the law of not by not. The koki agavna shamacha bolim mikli basar. Any such case where the food absorbed from a fleshy keli ben yomer within the 24 hours of its last use, mutar lechol machazem chayav, allowed to eat this food with milk. Should the nikla shatam because the taste is weakened by not by not, and it is the not by not the taste son of a taste. I literally say giving of taste, son of giving of taste, or giver of taste, but son of giver of taste. And vice versa. There's only place to milk with meat, meat with milk, or milk with meat. The came at the time sheni akanta shel since the second taste is still mutter, the iklish kuli high and it's been weakened so far. It's not considered significant enough to forbid the meat, the milk, the meat. Which is actually a prohibited substance. Time or any time where there's any taste. Also, that's off all answers, no matter how faint the taste might be, literally until the end of the world. Such as if you have a pot which you cook prohibited substance, and they cook water in it. They put from the water into the into another foodstuff. So you need 60 cars to all the water. The Chashvin Lamayin Kagufa Isser, we consider the water as if they are actually the Isser itself. Avgav Tam Sheni, even though it is the second taste. In other words, it's removed. Isser gave taste in the water, water in the Isser gave taste in the pot, and the pot gave taste in the water. Doesn't matter. And that is true ad nauseum. And the show, you can't ask, look, the taste of the Isser has been weakened. Just like the taste of meat is weakened. I understand going to be knows that Chaticha Nasis Nevela by Shari Surim, or as we say, Chanan, by the Surim. So then I understand. Because the water became Chanan. Avlaman Losfil came, but those don't hear the way. Hold that way. Why shouldn't we permit the foodstuff which they cooked with this water? Malakish's time basa, what does it make a weaken the taste of meat? Oklish's time isser, or we weaken the taste of a prohibited substance? Udvade lodami. No, it's not a good question. Sorry. Because it's not comparable. The sharina not by not la mishum the savrina she'ein atam rishon mispashet shlishi. That which omits not by not. It's not because the whole the taste doesn't expand to the third medium. The Mayinu Camp we would say this. Probably I'm sure it's me mutter v'chaygavna. Even other Yisrael be mutter in this manner. The man leisach chadira nas svela. Those who don't have chanan. And other man matirinon shatam hasheni hu shel hayo shel heter. Only permitted when the second taste was heter. Shem the emach hashivus because it has no significance. Shatam kosh kozeh hu shel heter. Yes, he both were. Conditions has to be a time kolush and a time of eter. But time isser shasa, but it doesn't apply to time isser. Simon Tzadi Dal Sif Chav Gimel. Gimel V'day, you should know the gam, but not by not the etera, even when not the etera, as we're talking about here. Lo min rak shatam rishon yab b'keli. Let's say when the first taste was in a vessel. And the second is in the food. Like the fish which came to plate, which you would describe. But when the first taste also gets into the food, we don't permit not by not. How's that? Such as if there was some hot food, was not on a keli, which is a flesh of keli, it was an actual meat. So then you put that food right together with fish, hot fish. A little bit confusing, right? You put you had a hot food, which is on meat, not fish in this case, some other food, and then you put that food in contact with fish. Also called dogim mekutach. Then you can't eat the fish with milk. So even though if you had the taste go into the keli, into the fish. You can eat the fish with milchik, taste of meat. Go into keli, go to the fish. And you eat the fish with milchik. If you have the taste of the meat going into another food stuff and then going into the fish, you can't eat the fish with milchik. B'kein posku, I was showing about Sefer Chuma, Baal Shorim, V'dafko, I took Shatam Mishon Keli, simply when the first taste is into a keli. V'asheni ba'ochel, and the second taste is into a food. Hukla shatam, then we say the taste is weakened. Avuk sharishon ba'ochel, first taste goes into food. Have a kamamish, it's like it's the substance is there. V'yesh mishua tzachlokaze, those who want to argue on this, ain't time and those who argue have no rationale. The Vatikano, this is certainly true. So like we said, based on what we said in the previous sif, so we don't say that the taste is not spread because it's weakened. I guess read like this. The only reason to say that the taste is not spread further is because it's weakened. Because the time shall be cleave. It's only possible where the first taste comes off of the keli. Well, and then not from food. Also, when even when the first taste was in the vessel, we don't say, in other words, meat to vessel, vessel to fish. We don't say it's time of cooking. If milk fell on the pot in which you're cooking fish opposite the sauce inside, and then you cook these fish with meat, asurim hadogim. The fish are also 60 corresponding to the milk. Don't say, well, hey, wait a minute. Milk is on the outside, give a taste to the keli, and then went inside, right? It should be the same thing. So if it's sequential or well, it's also sequential. But if it happens, I'm not sure. Basachas supposed to zachar that. That's also the same thing. Never mind. You got the point. So the so v'lormi ariachon nas tam bakter bedogim have a mamish naparnat, so it should be naparnat. They came to the nafal shas abishul since it fell at the time that there was cooking going on. V'abishul mefabeh b'chok there, and the cooking diffuses throughout the pot. Havakil kum shrim sebazeh, as if everything is linked together. Havakil achav nafal dagim, as if the fish fell on the milk fell on the fish. Yeshu is chavas das. Yeshu made those say that feel b'shas habishol min not by not, even by not by not. We do even by this case you say not by not because the shum in base of Chaim. But the Arukh HaShulchan says Menir ikar kadei rishonim ein lo'akal b'zeh. He baskins like the chavas das and says you can't be lenient. He says in brackets, "Efshar told by a day or she's baru." Possible as to the opinions which will be explained. May should have been always bashel zimshin ola bikara or nis bashel bikara. V'tzarchir v'duk. Hey, v'yeshu v'tzein rishonim shlosh shitos bedina napanat. 3 opinions. The yeshu some say ein chiluk ben shalu adogim roschim lekar shel basar. Doesn't matter if the fish went into a hot plate of meat, or ben shebishlo some makara, or if they were cooked in the plate, or tell some or roasted in the plate. Mikul bekula mutar lachal dogim bekutzach, all of them like to eat the fish with milk. They should not buy that. So that's a big time for Yazakin. That's the opinion about Tesis. It's about Perish Rashi. Evidently, Rashi's opinion as well. Rambam. Wow, I'm also aligned with this. That's first opinion. Yeshua, some say Daf Galu. So if they went into the plate, Avalonis Bashim, not if they're cooked in that plate. If they went into a hot plate, Lobalu Adogim Rak Kadei Klipa. They only absorb Kadei Klipa, Blium Wetis, which is minimal, Bezeitur not by not, and that they allowed not by not. Avakshis Bashlu Bikar, but they were cooked in that fleshly plate. Viniva Koltama Basa Shebek there, which, and therefore all of the taste of the meat which was in that pot, switch from plate to pot, but it's the same thing, gets absorbed into the fish. Loiter was not by not. They're not allowed not by not in that case. Zelkin is Bashlu and Basa Mamish, as if they were cooked with meat, literally. That's Rivon B'Shem Rashi Shivi Atesis Arosham, the opinion of the Rivon name of Rashi. That's the second opinion. Yeshua in some states is Bashlu Mutter Benitzu also Zimjid, they're cooked or roasted. These Bashlu Yesh Shlosha Tamim. When they're cooked, there are 3 tastes. Habasa Bikara, the meat in the dish, the Hakarmayim, the dish in the water, Va'amayim Badogim, and the water in the fish. You can say that the whatever was emitted went directly into the fish. Come on the side. Nevertheless, it's clear to us the raw plate of Hachal that most goes into the water, which serves as a medium between the keli and the fish. But when they're roasted, since the emission, whatever emits goes straight into the fish, have a ketam rishon. It's like first taste. And it's also zel sefer truma. Vasmag Vasmak. The Zayis came a Rosh, and the Rosh agreed with this as well. Vav, Rabbeinu Beis Yosef Yichir Gedei Rishon. Beis Yosef Pascal is the first opinion. The B'chol Gav Nashar, it's mutter no matter what. Shkas Sif Av, he writes in Sif Av, Dogish is Bashul Ocean Itzubik Der Shabasar. Fish which was either cooked or roasted in a flesh pot. Ruchutza, which Yafel, which is rinsed well. Shein Shum Shuman Davukba, so there's no oil adhering to it. Mutter Lochlan Bekutak, you're allowed to, well, no fatty fat on meat. Mutar ochlam bekuta, you're allowed to eat them with milk. Should have not by not their tera. This is not by not in a permitted substance. If it wasn't cooked well, it wasn't rinsed well. If the substance which is still adhering to the side of the pot is more than 1/60th of the fish, also now to eat them with milk. Period. An egg which is cooked in water in a milky pot, mutar says you're allowed to use it to stuff a chicken. I feel even deliberately. But if it's cooked in a pot with meat, I feel beklipa, and even if it's in the shell, also you can't eat that egg with milk. I can't show. All the pots here are within use of 24 hours. That's obvious. Therefore, you didn't have to tell us. For appears I explained in Simon Tzadikil, if it's not within 24 hours, I feel bishul chol ba'atzma. Even if you cook the milk itself in the pot, it's mutter. Dogim she's bashlu ba. The mutter I think milk itself in a fleshing pot. It's a mutter. Koshken dogim says bashalo. So the fish which is cooked in this Eino Ben Yoma pot, the mutter lachlam bekuti allowed to eat them with milk. Zayin diktev kosav b'chutzi yofe. It was meticulous around that it was well rinsed. Shein shum shumado was that there's no fat adhering to the vessel. By pshita came in the chitza yofe ein shum shumadavukba. So simple, clear is since after rinsing well, there's no fat clinging to it. Well, I'm saying. But pshita came in the rokta and yofe ein shum shumadavukba. Okay, that's what Beis Yosef says. It says, it seems to me, the Kamash is going to tell us that Kmedu Rakat Vekos Hashuman. The issue is only the clinging fat. Kigon Shabishlu Bakter Rak Bosla Badablu Tapshu. Such as if you cooked meat alone in the pot without other elements to the dish. Even when some residue is left inside the pot, there's no doubt that some fattiness in the meat remains. It's like the substance of meat, and not like the taste. Grouping. If you cook some grits in there, or potatoes, or rice or millet, shall isa or dough, nasu bagan basar, and you put in it meat, stuffed it with meat. There, shabashi mitzaynu that you cook by us. The basar muat neged tafshil. The meat is less in size and volume than the other elements of the cooked dish. I feel even if the pot is not washed well, lace lamba. We don't care. The because let's say you're putting in kreplach, right? Because the kreplach itself is food which has the taste of meat, not meat itself. It's a taste of meat, mamish. Not true meat. But I feel if he must grab the kshatar mishon who machal emerin din naparnat. We said where the taste of meat first goes into food and then to the fish. We don't say naparnat. Become kamacha gankin ikartam with bakdera. Nevertheless, here the primary taste which you're concerned with is in the pot. Lokashin lamata roteb shesivil sakdera shesh batam baso. So we're not concerned with a little bit of a sauce around the pot which has taste of meat. The dunim is there, din naparnat, and with this can be the precursor to a legitimate application of not by not. You don't have to know that's washed well. With the default assumption, we say in all probability it was well washed. Like Babatim do, or like perhaps Balos Batim. That after they eat, they clean the pots. So you're going to preclude if we know that it's not well washed. Those are arguments. And they're wrong. It's not the primary approach. Even we say it's not well rinsed, nevertheless, I guess they use soap. So it's clean of fattiness or water. The stam kli yesh batav shel shishim neged alichul shalav. The default assumption is that a cooked dish has 60 corresponding to whatever residue is left. That which required 60 in the fish corresponding to the substance which is on the pot. That's when they're roasted. When it's being cooked, you can take the water into account as well. You don't have to limit yourself to taking the fish into account. Because the taste diffuses equally in the fish and in the water.